Hey everyone, ready to become a tutor and ace that interview?
We're going to dive deep into some real interview questions.
From RoleCatcher,
Mm.
it's like a gold mine of career resources. You'll walk in feeling confident and prepared. We'll uncover what those interviewers are really looking for.
And sprinkle in some advice from RoleCatcher's career guide on how to not just get the job, but really make a successful career out of it.
Okay, so let's set the stage.
Yeah.
What does a tutor do? What's the job market like out there?
It's personalized education.
Okay.
So you're working one-on-one or in small groups, helping students of all ages
Hmm.
really grasp those sometimes tricky concepts and, help them shine in their studies.
Yeah.
The best part is you can work from anywhere.
Oh, that's nice.
Homeschools, online.
Nice. Very flexible.
Yeah, super adaptable career.
Yeah.
And the best part, the job outlook for tutors is really bright because the demand for personalized learning is just growing.
That's awesome. That's great news for our listeners.
Absolutely.
Okay, so let's get down to the nitty-gritty. RoleCatcher's Interview Guide Tutor has a bunch of sample questions.
It does.
Ready to tackle them.
Let's do it. Let's decode what each one's really getting at.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Question number 1. Can you tell us about your previous experience as a tutor? Sounds pretty straightforward.
It is straightforward,
Yeah.
but it's also about more than just, listing off your past jobs. They
Right.
want to see that you're passionate and how you've actually, applied those skills that you have.
So, what should we be highlighting when answering a question like this?
Talk about the subjects that you've taught,
Okay.
age groups that you've worked with, any specific challenges you've overcome.
Mm-hmm.
This is your chance to show off your experience.
Yeah.
Highlight why you love tutoring.
Don't just tell them, show them.
Mhm.
Now, what if they follow up with what was your biggest challenge in that role and how did you overcome it?
They are looking for your problem-solving skills.
Good.
So choose a genuine challenge,
Yeah.
something that really tested you. Maybe a student struggling with a specific concept, or you had to get creative to engage a learner who is getting distracted.
Right.
Walk them through your thought process. Show how you adapted and what you learned from that experience.
Turning those challenges into growth opportunities.
Yeah.
Love that.
Yeah.
Okay, next question. How do you approach tutoring students with different learning styles?
This is key.
Yeah.
Not every student learns the same way. They want to know that you can actually personalize your approach.
Mm-hmm.
So some are visual learners.
Okay.
They thrive on diagrams and charts. Others are auditory.
Yeah.
They prefer lectures or discussions.
Right.
And then you have kinesthetic learners who learn by doing.
Gotcha.
They like hands-on activities and moving around.
So highlight that you are aware of these differences and you can tailor your teaching to each style.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like having a toolkit
Yeah.
full of teaching strategies.
Speaking of adapting, what if they ask, describe a time you had to adjust your teaching style for a student who wasn't responding to your initial approach?
That's where your flexibility shines. So, don't be afraid to admit you've had to change things up. Share a story where you recognize that a student wasn't thriving and how you assess their needs and what adjustments you made.
So give me an example.
Yeah, so maybe you introduced more visual aids, break down complex concepts into smaller pieces, or use games.
Okay.
The takeaway is you are student-centered and you are always willing to adapt.
This is making me feel more prepared already.
Yep.
Okay, on to a question that I think is at the heart of tutoring.
Yeah.
How do you motivate students who are struggling with the subject?
This is where you go beyond the subject knowledge.
Yeah,
And tap into your inner cheerleader.
I like that.
They want to see that you can inspire and encourage even when things get tough.
Right.
So think about, positive reinforcement,
Mhm.
setting achievable goals, maybe even gamifying the learning process.
Right.
I love the idea of making it fun.
Yeah.
Now imagine they ask, have you ever had a student who completely lacked motivation?
Yeah.
How did you approach that situation?
This one's about empathy and communication.
Right.
So describe how you would build rapport.
Okay.
Try to understand the root of their lack of motivation and then work with them to find solutions.
Work collaboratively.
Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe they are lacking confidence or haven't found a way to connect with the material. Show that you can connect with them on a personal level.
Yeah.
And reignite their spark for learning.
It's about being a mentor as much as a teacher.
Right.
Okay, next question. How do you manage your time when tutoring multiple students? We all know juggling can be tough.
Yeah, this question's all about your organizational skills.
Okay.
So talk about how you structure your sessions, plan your lessons, and keep track of each student's progress.
Mm-hmm.
Think about using a planner, creating individual folders for each student, or even leveraging online tools to stay organized.
Speaking of organization, what if they ask, describe your system for keeping track of student assignments and progress? What are some key points to hit on there?
You want to show off how meticulous you are.
Okay.
So whether you use a color-coded spreadsheet, a trusty notebook, or a digital platform, emphasize your clear and systematic approach. Remember, a well-organized tutor is a more effective tutor.
Makes sense. All right, let's tackle a slightly tougher one. How do you handle a student that is not receptive to your tutoring? This one feels a bit tricky.
It can be, but it's a chance to show off your communication skills.
Right, okay.
So start by, highlighting the importance of open communication. Explain how you would actually talk to the student.
Okay.
Try to identify the root of their resistance and then collaborate to find solutions.
So, like, what could that root be?
Maybe they need a different learning style or something outside of tutoring is impacting their focus.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
What do they ask for a specific example? Like, can you give me a situation where you had to deal with a resistant student and how you turned things around?
A good story can be a real game changer.
Yeah.
So think of a time that you faced this challenge and succeeded.
Okay.
Describe the student's initial resistance, your steps to understand their perspective, and the strategies that you used to re-engage them.
Okay.
Did you discover a shared interest, adjust your approach, or find a creative way to make learning fun?
Okay.
It's all about showing your ability to connect, adapt, and help students succeed.
This is all incredibly helpful, but we have time for one more question before we shift gears. How do you handle a student who is disruptive during a tutoring session? This one makes me think about classroom management, even in a one-on-one setting.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's about maintaining a positive and productive learning environment. So emphasize setting clear boundaries and expectations from the get-go. Talk about addressing disruptive behavior calmly and directly, but also with empathy.
Right.
Remember, understanding the reason behind the disruption can be key to finding the right solution.
What about if they ask, can you describe a time when you had to discipline a student for disruptive behavior during a tutoring session? What was the situation and how did you handle it? How do we best answer that?
Again, a specific example can make your answer really stand out.
Yeah.
Think back to a time you faced a similar challenge. Maybe a student was talking out of turn, not paying attention, or being disrespectful.
Right.
Describe the situation, the steps you took, and the outcome. Remember, it's not about punishing, but guiding them back to that positive learning space.
Awesome.
Yeah. I think we've covered a lot on those interview questions. You're probably starting to feel like you can handle anything they throw at you.
Definitely feeling a lot more confident.
Good.
But, sometimes just knowing the questions isn't enough. I still get those pre-interview jitters.
Oh, yeah.
And, could use some help refining my answers and delivery.
I hear you. That's where RoleCatcher's AI features come in. They can be a total game changer.
Oh, okay. Have you had a chance to check these out?
I have.
Okay, awesome. Tell me more. How can AI help me with interview prep?
Imagine having a personalized coach.
Okay.
Who can analyze your practice, answers pinpoint areas for improvement, and even give you feedback on your body language.
Ooh.
That's what RoleCatcher's AI does.
Oh, wow, that's incredible.
It's like having a secret weapon.
Okay, so walk me through it. What are some of the key AI features that can help me really rock this interview?
Well, first up, there's their AI-powered CV and resume tailoring.
Okay.
This feature is a lifesaver. It analyzes job descriptions, figures out the skills they're looking for, and then it helps you optimize your CV or resume.
Okay.
To highlight those specific skills, making you stand out from the crowd.
So it's like having a recruiter who knows exactly what that hiring manager wants.
Precisely.
Awesome.
It makes sure that your application is speaking their language.
Right.
So you're more likely to get shortlisted.
Okay.
But the AI magic doesn't stop there.
No, there's more.
RoleCatcher also has this feature that analyzes your practice answers and gives you personalized feedback.
Okay, that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
I can already feel my anxiety levels dropping. But what about those awkward silences and nervous fidgeting?
Oh, yeah.
I always worry about my body language in interviews.
We've all been there.
Yeah.
But RoleCatcher's AI even analyzes your video rehearsals.
Wow.
It looks at your delivery body language and overall presentation. It can help you identify any nervous habits and give you tips on how to project confidence and authenticity.
It's like having a personal stylist for your interview presence.
Exactly.
Wow, I am sold on this AI stuff. This sounds like it takes all the guesswork out of interview prep.
Yeah.
But, before we get too carried away with technology, let's circle back to the Tutors, the Complete Career Guide.
Okay.
What kind of insights can we get from that about advancing in a tutoring career?
Great question.
Yeah.
So let's say you aced the interview, landed the job, congrats, but what's next?
Yeah, what's next?
Well, this guide outlines several paths you can explore.
Okay, lay it on me. I'm ready to hear about the possibilities.
So you could move into supervisory or management roles within a tutoring company,
Okay.
become a team lead, a program coordinator, or if you've got a specialized passion, you could focus on a high-demand niche like test prep or college admissions counseling.
Those both sound amazing. Any other options?
Absolutely. If you've got an entrepreneurial spirit, you could even start your own tutoring business.
Wait, my own tutoring business. Tell me more.
It's a great option for those who want to be their own boss, set their own rates, and build their own brand. The guide even offers tips on how to market your services, manage clients, and grow your business.
Okay. I'm adding tutoring entrepreneur to my vision board. But no matter which path we choose, continuous learning is key, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
The world of education is always evolving. So staying up to date on the latest teaching methods and technologies is crucial for growth. The RoleCatcher Guide suggests taking online courses, attending workshops, and joining professional tutoring organizations to keep those skills sharp.
Love that.
Yeah.
It's all about being a lifelong learner. Okay, I'm feeling super inspired about all the possibilities, but let's not lose sight of the task at hand.
Right.
We've got a few more interview questions to tackle.
We do.
Ready to dive back in.
Absolutely bring on the next challenge.
All right, question number 7. How do you assess a student's progress and adjust your teaching accordingly? This feels like it's all about being responsive and adaptable.
Spot on.
Yeah.
The interviewer wants to know you can track a student's development and tailor your approach to their individual needs.
Okay.
So think about both formal and informal assessments. Do you use quizzes and tests? Or do you pay close attention to their participation in sessions, their questions, and their overall engagement?
So it could be either or, a combination of both. Okay. What if they follow up with, can you give me a specific example of how you adjusted your teaching based on a student's progress? How would you approach that?
This is another chance to share a success story.
Okay.
Think back to a time when you noticed a student struggling and how you intervened. Did you implement more practice problems, switch to a different teaching method, or maybe even reach out to their parents for support? The key is to show that you're attentive, proactive, and dedicated to helping your students thrive.
Okay, next up is question number 8. How do you keep up to date with the latest teaching methods and technologies? This one feels especially relevant in today's fast-paced world.
It is.
Yeah.
The interviewer wants to know that you're committed to staying ahead of the curve. So think about specific professional development activities you've engaged in.
Okay.
Have you attended conferences, taken online courses, or even just read industry blogs and publications?
Right. What if they ask, what's a recent educational trend or technology that you've incorporated into your tutoring, and what impact has it had?
This is your chance to really shine. Choose a specific example that shows your passion for learning and your dedication to providing your students with the best possible experience.
Okay.
Maybe you've integrated interactive learning platforms, used educational apps, or found some really innovative ways to use technology to enhance your sessions.
Awesome.
Yeah.
All right, last question.
Yep.
And this one's a bit of a curveball. How do you handle a situation where a student is struggling with a subject that you are not familiar with?
Oh.
I'm already feeling a little stressed just thinking about it.
I get it. It's a tough question, but it's more about your approach than your knowledge base.
Okay.
They want to see how you handle unexpected challenges and if you're willing to go the extra mile for your students.
Okay, so how do we navigate this potential minefield?
Honesty and resourcefulness are your best friends here. Acknowledge that you might not be an expert in every single subject, but emphasize your willingness to learn and find solutions.
Okay. What if they ask, have you ever encountered this situation before? What did you do?
That's where you turn a potential weakness into a strength.
Okay.
Share a story of a time when you had to step outside your comfort zone. Maybe you consulted a colleague, did some independent research, or reached out to the student's teacher for guidance. The point is to show that you're dedicated to finding the best support, even if it means admitting you don't have all the answers.
I love that. It's all about being a lifelong learner ourselves.
Right. Exactly. And remember, even if you haven't personally experienced this exact situation, you can still talk about your general approach to problem solving and how you tackle the challenge. Show them you're a creative thinker who can find solutions.
This has been an incredible deep dive into the world of tutor interviews.
It has.
We've covered so much ground, from understanding the role and tackling those tough questions to using AI to our advantage and exploring career paths.
It's been quite a journey. And remember, tutoring is a truly rewarding and impactful career path. You have the power to make a real difference in your students' lives.
Now, before we wrap things up, I want to touch on one final thought from RoleCatcher's Career Guide. It really struck a chord with me.
Okay.
And I think it's something to keep in mind as you embark on your tutoring journey.
I'm intrigued. What is it?
It's the idea that tutoring isn't just about transmitting knowledge. It's about empowering students to become lifelong learners.
Yeah.
Like, it's about igniting that spark of curiosity, helping them develop a love of learning that will stay with them forever.
That's such a powerful thought.
Right.
And it's so true. We can give them the tools and the knowledge, but it's really about fostering that intrinsic motivation to learn and grow.
Exactly. So
Yeah.
how do we do that? How do we, as tutors, help instill that love of learning in our students?
Well, there's no magic formula.
Right.
But I think it starts with creating a safe and supportive learning environment,
Okay.
a space where students feel comfortable asking questions,
Yeah.
making mistakes, and taking risks without fear of judgment.
It's about building that trust and rapport, isn't it? Letting them know it's okay to struggle. It's okay to not know everything. That's all part of the process.
Absolutely. And it's also about celebrating those small victories along the way. Every time they grasp a new concept, solve a challenging problem, or make progress towards their goals, we need to acknowledge their efforts and celebrate their achievements.
Those little wins can make such a big difference. It's like that saying, success breeds success.
Yes.
The more we celebrate those moments of growth, the more motivated they'll become to keep learning and pushing themselves further.
Exactly. And let's not forget the power of fun.
Yes.
Learning shouldn't be a chore.
Right.
We can make it engaging and enjoyable by incorporating games, puzzles, hands-on activities, even field trips if the opportunity arises.
I love that. When learning feels like an adventure, it becomes less about memorizing facts and more about exploring, discovering, and making those connections that spark a genuine love of learning.
It's about finding those aha moments.
Yeah.
Those moments where something clicks and they get that excited look in their eyes.
Yes.
Because they finally understand something they've been struggling with.
Those are the best.
Those are the moments that make it all worthwhile.
Absolutely. And those are the moments that will stay with them long after the tutoring sessions are over. They'll remember the joy of discovery, the feeling of accomplishment, and that will fuel their desire to keep learning throughout their lives.
And it's not just about the students.
Right.
Tutoring is a journey of lifelong learning for us as well.
That's a good point.
As we guide our students, we're constantly learning and growing ourselves.
Yeah.
We're developing our teaching skills, expanding our knowledge, and gaining a deeper understanding of how people learn.
It's a two-way street.
It is.
We're learning from our students just as much as they're learning from us. It's a beautiful exchange of knowledge, ideas, and perspectives. And I think that's what makes tutoring such a rewarding and fulfilling career path.
I couldn't agree more. It's an honor to play a role in someone's educational journey.
Yeah.
And to witness their growth and transformation firsthand.
This has been an incredible deep dive into the world of tutoring.
It has.
We've explored the role, tackled those tricky interview questions,
Yeah.
learned how AI can be our secret weapon,
Yeah.
and even delved into the deeper purpose of what it means to be a tutor.
It's been an amazing journey. And for anyone out there who's feeling inspired to pursue this path, remember that RoleCatcher is an invaluable resource.
Yes.
Their platform has everything you need to prepare for that interview, land the job, and excel in your tutoring career.
Absolutely. From their AI-powered CV tailoring and interview practice to their comprehensive career guides, it's like having a personal career coach in your pocket.
Yeah.
So go out there, embrace the challenge, and make a difference in the lives of your students.
And remember, bring your passion, your enthusiasm, and your genuine desire to help others succeed. The rest will fall into place.
Thank you so much for joining us on the Deep Dive.
Yes, thank you.
We hope you found this episode insightful, inspiring, and empowering.
We did too.
Until next time, happy tutoring.